Hello, this is Erin, and welcome back to Seek the Magic. This week, I want to talk about getting back into routine. So, as I mentioned in the last episode, September was a little crazy with injuries and getting sick and everything like that. And this month, as we mark the midpoint, a little bit over the midpoint in the month, I know it's time to get back and realign to help me get all the things I want to do done and to help realign with my goals that I have for this year and just for life in general. So one of those, of course, is doing the podcast. And there are a few other things that fell off and or have been put on the back burner a bit. One actually from this week is waking up early, which if I had my way and sleep did not have its way, then I would wake up at 5 o'clock every morning and have a few hours for myself before getting the day ready. I found this has been valuable all my life, but really, especially when I have kids, getting up this early and having time for myself to do what I need to do before I get them ready has been so important. So this week, getting up early gave me a chance to not only work out and do cardio, which that's been my number one priority for as long as I can remember. So usually get that done regardless of what time I wake up. Then also now doing meditation. I found that if I wake up a little bit later or, the kids wake up, then I'll have time to just work out, but I won't have time to meditate. And then that means it gets pushed to later in the day or abbreviated, or I don't know if you've ever tried doing yoga or meditation with young kids around, but it means that they want to be very involved with the process. So that means it's not as calm and peaceful as it could potentially be. So waking up earlier gave me the chance to meditate in addition to doing my workout routine. I had more time to get a smoothie ready in the morning, and all that was just very exciting. It meant I was much more calm and mentally ready by the time the kids got up. Now, I always, getting the kids up is one of my favorite things because it is just time for us as a family before they get ready for school. So I always love that. But having gotten a few things done and really given myself time to align has been a really great thing. And it's benefited not only in, the morning of the day, but it's actually had echoes for the rest of the day. So I feel like, I think I read a book once called The 5 a.m. Club, or there's probably several books with that name, but the idea is that if you get up early and have those few hours that you feel like you're getting up before the rest of the world, that it can be very beneficial. So how has it impacted the rest of these days? Well, I've had several things that I've also wanted to get done, including I'm training to be a breathwork facilitator and coach. And so I have to train and practice with people. And, that takes certain hours. And it also is a newer thing for me. So it's going outside of my comfort zone, which means that my brain resists it a little bit and would rather deprioritize it and or skip it. So this has the morning routine, and probably the combination of that and getting the meditation done has helped me feel more centered and has helped the part of me that really wants to get this certification and to help other people move forward, as opposed to the other reticent part of me that would rather just get other things done. So I've gotten that back on track this week, which is really great because it's something I want to get done by the end of the year. And now we're catching up. Let's see. And also just a reminder that breath work, it's part of my meditation practice, but it has been a key part of the day in breaking up or getting me back on track. If I don't feel like I want to do something, or like I have to write a proposal and I'm getting a little bit nervous about it because I have to send it to, key stakeholders, I find myself pausing, realizing that these emotions are taking over and wanting to switch. And I feel like instead of mentally trying to think my way through it, taking literally just a 5-minute break and doing 5 minutes of breath work. I use the Pause breathwork app because the woman I'm training with created that app. Her name is Sam Skelly. So it has breaks of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And so you can literally just take 3 minutes and pause. I feel like that helps me reset and move forward. So that's helped me get back on track this week. And it's reminded me what an amazing gift breathwork is, which I found about, say, a year and a half ago, and maybe close to 2 years. What an amazing gift that is, and how much I am excited to tell everybody about it as much as I can. And hopefully at some point can start teaching other people about it too, guiding people. Another aspect of getting up early is that, well, I'm still working on implementing this one. So TBD on whether this gets encompassed in the plan. But I guess since I've been only getting up for 5 for a week, let's see if I can keep this together for longer. I'm committing to it on this podcast, so I will provide a progress update. But another key thing is setting goals for the day, work and personal. So again, saying, I want to make sure I get this breathwork session done. I want to make sure I have these 4 articles written and I have the meeting with this person. Doing that has really helped me focus, because working in the tech space, there's alerts and people that ask you to do last minute things all the time. And so the focus of your day can shift rather quickly, quite dramatically at some points. And so it's important to look at what you originally wanted to do and then check in at the end of the day to make sure that you've done it. This also goes for things to do with the kids. And I think this is actually more important as we get into the months of October, November, December, because there are more obligations that come up associated with the holidays, such as figuring out Halloween costumes, getting decorations up, helping volunteer for voting or charities, all sorts of things. So, and all these things that are going on at kids' schools, of course, which seem to come up one after the other. So again, very important I've found it, sorry, I just got a Slack message, which is the interrupting alert that I am speaking about not getting distracted from. So real-time example. So it's very important to make sure that those things are top of mind. And then also at the end of the day, I think it's helped me celebrate. I know that sounds silly to celebrate getting small things done, but it reinforces positive behavior. And I think it helps my brain be motivated for getting things done the next day. So that's good. So those are the main things that I wanted to talk about related to moving forward. Right now, I'm getting back on track, which means that I am behind and feel like I've lost progress from where I was before late August, beginning of September. But I choose to focus on where I can go moving forward as opposed to moving back. And I think another key thing that I read recently, which I may do a whole podcast episode about this, is just asking questions as opposed to making statements and accepting one point of view as reality, as like the only state it is, I guess. And what I mean by that is I could say, I'm behind on this stuff. I will not get it done. And, I won't be able to make this goal right now. Or I could say, what are the possibilities for moving forward with this? How could I do this? What would make a difference if I, try to catch up and meet the goal in time versus giving myself a little bit of extra time and seeing if there's a new deadline? So I think these things are helpful because it helps me recalibrate and not be so hard on myself. And in other non-personal development situations, it helps me broaden the scope of thinking about how to look at something. What are the various possibilities? How could we approach this from different angles? And so that's been helpful in finding creative ways to solve problems as well. Another fun thing that is like not exactly routine related, but kind of, ever since I would say over the past year, I've been mainly focused on reading psychology and spirituality related books. And I've taken a pause on reading fiction, which I read a lot of when I was pregnant with Katie the year before I had her. And I started to read fiction, sci-fi, fantasy again. And now I'm on a total kick of that. And part of what I do routine before bed is read a paper book. So not looking at, a device with blue light or whatever, but just, reading a paper book, old school. And that has really helped me fall asleep. So now that I'm doing that with fiction, I actually am just like going through so many more books and having so much fun with it. And it's actually opening up, what I'm learning and ways that I did not expect. So, or, ways that I did not remember when I, decided to go full on spirituality and psychology and breathwork and everything, which I think has a time and a place. And my brain tends to want to go like 150% on one thing and just, really dive in deep and go down a rabbit hole. But what I found is that going into these different genres or categories or investigating something else, it actually has drawn in more insights and revelations and ways of thinking about things and connections to the work that I'm either doing for myself personally or professionally or connecting with my kids or things like that. So I definitely want to talk about that more at some point. But that to say, while this episode focuses on getting back into routine in order to get things done and in various ways to do and approach that, I would say that maybe this is another part of the routine is to go out of routine or just like trying new things and deviating out of your normal path, part of the routine. Incorporate that as part of what you do and how you go about things. And I think that there's certainly magic in creating the routine, in helping move yourself forward towards what you want to do and where you want to go. And then there's certainly magic in the unexpected surprises and in looking in places where you're not really sure why you're looking there, or, it doesn't have an expected outcome completely related to your goal, but you may find something wonderful there. So I hope you seek the magic in your day and your week. And thank you so much. Take care.